They say justice is blind, but in the case of Charlie Kirk's assassination, it feels like the public is the one being kept in the dark. We are currently witnessing a level of judicial secrecy that is almost unprecedented. In a Provo courthouse right now, a judge is literally killing live feeds the second a camera gets too close to the defendant, Tyler James Robinson. Why is the government so terrified of a camera lens? What was hidden in the 97 pages of transcripts that were sealed away until just days ago? From redacted witnesses to the FBI's frantic attempts to block professional lip readers from decoding courtroom whispers, the official narrative is beginning to fracture. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the Kirk files, the evidence they thought would stay buried forever. Before we dive into the secrets the court doesn't want you to see, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are tracking every redacted document and every hushed hearing to bring you the truth the mainstream media is ignoring. You won't want to miss our next update on the lone wolf myth. For months, the identity of a key witness present at the Utah Valley University rally was a closely guarded secret, buried under layers of legal red tape. But as of January 16, 2026, a massive crack has formed in the prosecution's case. It has been exposed that an 18-year-old student, who was standing just 85 feet away when the shots were fired, is actually the daughter of a lead prosecutor in the Utah County Attorney's Office. The court records reveal she sent a frantic text to a family group chat saying, "Charlie GOT shot," while the scene was still in total chaos. This isn't just a minor detail. The defense is now fighting to disqualify the entire prosecution team, arguing that they are too emotionally close to the event to seek a fair trial. They are calling the government's move to seek the death penalty a rush to judgment, fueled by personal vendettas rather than objective justice. Think about the implications here. If the people charging you with capital murder have children who were almost in the line of fire, can they ever truly be impartial? The defense argues that the prosecutor cannot separate his natural instinct to protect his child from his duty to the law. Was this witness kept a secret to protect her, or was it a strategic move to hide a conflict of interest that could eventually lead to a mistrial? In a case where the government is seeking the ultimate punishment, these are the questions the court was desperate to keep behind closed doors. As we move deeper into the trial, the level of control the government is exerting over the narrative is becoming almost paranoid. In a move that has shocked legal analysts and free speech advocates alike, Judge Tony Graff has begun implementing strict limitations on how the media can film Tyler Robinson. Earlier this month, the judge actually killed a live stream mid-broadcast because the camera angle was deemed too close to the defendant. But why the sudden panic over a camera lens? The official reason is to protect Robinson's right to a fair trial by not showing his shackles or jail attire. However, there is a much more chilling theory circulating among independent investigators. Reports have surfaced of professional forensic lip readers being hired by online sleuths to decode the private, whispered conversations between Robinson and his legal team during court breaks. Think about that for a second. The FBI and the court are so terrified of what Robinson might be whispering that they are willing to shut down the public's eyes and ears to prevent it from leaking. Is he discussing co-conspirators? Is he questioning the validity of the DNA evidence the FBI claims to have found on a towel and a screwdriver at the scene? When the government starts dictating exactly where a camera can point to prevent a mouth from being seen, you have to ask, what words are they so afraid we might understand? The prosecution claims they have the ultimate proof, a handwritten confession. According to the official report, on the day of the shooting, Tyler Robinson texted his partner and told him to look under the keyboard in their shared apartment. There, investigators say they found a note that read, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." But here is where the story gets incredibly murky. FBI Director Kash Patel later admitted in a national interview that this physical note was actually destroyed. The government claims they recovered the contents through aggressive forensic interviewing and digital footprints, but they haven't shown the public the original paper or a full, unedited image of it. True crime investigators and digital forensics experts are already poking holes in this narrative. If the note was destroyed, how did the FBI confirm its exact wording so quickly? Why are we only seeing carefully curated snippets of Robinson's texts, like the one where he allegedly says, "I had enough of his hatred"? The defense is hinting that there is more to this note, or perhaps other notes, that the FBI isn't mentioning. Were there other names in that message? Did Robinson mention anyone else who helped him plan this for over a week? By only giving us the lines that fit a lone wolf motive, the government might be burying a much larger, much more dangerous conspiracy. One of the most bizarre and unsettling developments in this case involves a man named Lance Twiggs. As the romantic partner and roommate of Tyler Robinson, Twiggs was thrust into the center of a national firestorm immediately after the shooting. For months, the FBI maintained a heavy four-man security detail around him, moving him to a safe space far from his home in St. George. The government treated him like the most high-value witness in the country. But just days ago, on January 17, 2026, that protection was abruptly pulled. No explanation. No public statement. Why would the FBI suddenly stop guarding the person who reportedly found the confession note and shared the incriminating texts that led to Robinson's arrest? Law enforcement sources claim the threat assessment has changed, but the timing is highly suspicious. Some investigators believe Twiggs has already given the government everything they need, while others wonder if he was ever in danger at all. Relatives have come forward describing Twiggs as someone who hated the very values Charlie Kirk stood for, yet he became the star witness for the prosecution. By pulling his security now, is the FBI signaling that the investigation into a larger network is over? Or are they trying to distance themselves from a witness whose own history of drug abuse and family conflict might make him a liability on the stand? When the government suddenly stops protecting their most important link to the killer, you have to ask if the truth they've secured is the whole truth, or just the version that's easiest to sell to a jury. Perhaps the most chilling and bizarre detail of this entire case lies in the physical evidence recovered from the wooded area near the Utah Valley University campus. When investigators found the Mauser bolt-action rifle, they didn't just find a weapon. They found a series of messages that suggest this wasn't just a crime, it was a performance. Found with the rifle were several bullet casings, and what was etched into them is something the mainstream media has hesitated to fully analyze. One fired casing, the very one believed to have held the round that killed Charlie Kirk, was engraved with a strange internet meme phrase, "Notices bulges OWO, what's this?" But it didn't stop there. 3 other unfired rounds were found, each carrying its own message. One read, "Hey fascists, catch." Another featured the lyrics, "Oh Bella Ciao," a famous anti-fascist anthem from World War II. The third was a crude internet joke. "If you read this, you are gay Elmau." Why would someone facing the death penalty take the time to meticulously engrave internet memes and political slogans onto individual bullets? The government wants you to believe this is the work of a terminally online lone wolf, but many are asking a more difficult question. Was this evidence meant to be found? Was it left there as a mini manifesto to ensure the killer's brand of internet radicalization went viral the moment he was caught? By focusing on the cringe nature of the messages, is the FBI distractingly us from the professional precision of the shot itself? The contrast between the juvenile engravings and the lethal accuracy of the shooting is a gap in the story that the court has yet to explain. While a massive multi-agency manhunt was paralyzing the state of Utah, the man at the center of it all was reportedly sitting down for a quiet dinner. According to exclusive reports that surfaced in mid-January 2026, Tyler Robinson didn't just disappear into the shadows after the shooting at UVU. He allegedly drove nearly 3 hours south to a small, roadside steakhouse in Panguitch. The owner of that restaurant has since come forward to the FBI, claiming a young man matching Robinson's description sat alone at the counter on the very night of the assassination. His order, a steak cooked medium rare. Think about the psychological profile being painted here. While the FBI was scrambling and the National Guard was on high alert, the most wanted man in America was calmly eating a steak dinner in a public eatery. This raises a massive red flag regarding the official timeline of the manhunt. If Robinson was sitting in a public restaurant for an hour, how did he slip through the net? The FBI claims they were monitoring his movements, yet he wasn't apprehended until he turned himself in at his family's urging nearly a day later. Was the delay in his arrest a massive law enforcement failure, or was there another reason they let him keep moving? The idea that an assassin can commit a high-profile murder and then enjoy a steak dinner without a single officer noticing him is a reality the courts have yet to reconcile. While the court claims to value transparency, their actions tell a very different story. On December 29, 2025, Judge Tony Graff finally bowed to pressure from media outlets and ordered the release of a 97-page transcript and audio recording from a previously closed-door hearing. But there was a catch. Large sections of that audio and text were blacked out or silenced, with the court citing sensitive security protocols as the reason. Think about the irony here. The court is releasing a document to prove they aren't hiding anything, yet they are literally deleting the most critical parts of the conversation before it hits the public record. When you listen to the audio that was released, you can hear the defense's desperation as they argue that the extraordinary national attention on this case is making a fair trial impossible. They've even gone so far as to request that Robinson be allowed to wear civilian clothes, just to prevent the jury from seeing him as a monster in a jumpsuit. But it's the silence, the literal gaps in the audio where security measures are discussed, that has everyone talking. What is so vulnerable about the Provo courthouse or the transport of this high-profile prisoner that the public isn't allowed to hear it? Are they protecting the building, or are they protecting a narrative? By redacting the audio, the court has ensured that the most vital discussions about how this case is being managed remain a secret known only to a select few. From the moment Tyler Robinson surrendered, the government has pushed a very specific narrative, that this was the act of a single, radicalized lone wolf. But as we dig into the digital footprint Robinson left behind, that story begins to fall apart. FBI Director Kash Patel recently dropped a bombshell during a Senate hearing, confirming that Robinson wasn't just venting into the void. He was active in a Discord chat room with over 20 other users. The FBI has already begun interrogating members of this group, but they've been remarkably quiet about what they found. Was Robinson being egged on? Was he part of a coordinated cell that shared tactical advice for rooftop snipings? Remember, this wasn't a messy, impulsive crime. Robinson used a bolt-action rifle with professional precision from over 140 yards away. Even more suspicious is the copycat nature of the evidence. Just like the Luigi Mangione case, Robinson left behind engraved shell casings and a digital trail that seems designed to inspire others. When the FBI insists on the lone wolf theory while simultaneously investigating a network of 20 people, you have to ask, are they trying to prevent public panic, or are they protecting the identities of others involved in the plot? If Robinson was just the trigger man for a larger movement, the Kirk files are hiding much more than just one man's motive. As we stand on the threshold of what many are calling the trial of the century, one thing is certain. The version of the story we were given in the first 48 hours is not the whole truth. From the secret identity of witnesses to the FBI's desperate attempts to block cameras and redact audio, the layers of secrecy surrounding Charlie Kirk's death are only getting thicker. Is Tyler Robinson a lone actor, or is he the face of a much larger underground movement that the government isn't ready to expose? Why are prosecutors so determined to keep this case in their own office despite clear family ties to the crime scene? As the preliminary hearings continue this year, we will be here to watch the shadows they don't want you to see. The truth has a way of coming out, even when it's buried under 100 pages of black ink. What do you think is the biggest secret the FBI is hiding in the Kirk files? Is it the missing co-conspirators, or the conflict of interest in the prosecutor's office? Let us know your theories in the comments below. If you found this investigation helpful, don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who wants the real story. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're the first to know when the next redacted document drops. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.